everybody. My name is Tanya Bannister and I'm president of Concert Artists Guild. I'm thrilled to have you here with us today as we showcase 8 finalists at our 2021 Concert Artists Guild's finals. I think we realize now more than ever just how music can help make us feel and connect with each other. And as much as I wish we could all be together, there's so much that we've found from enjoying this on the virtual platform. This is actually the second time that we've had a virtual competition, and we've been able to enjoy the performances of these 8 finalists, both through their videos, but through their introductory videos that you will also enjoy today, and through interviews that we've had with each one of them. Another benefit of having this online competition has been that we've been able to have a wonderful jury from around the world who've been able to enjoy these musicians and evaluate to help us come to a decision, which we will have tomorrow for you at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on the winners announcement. These musicians will be vying for 2 prize packages. The first being one with our partner, YCAT, in London. YCAT is a wonderful organization that helps launch and support top young musical talent in Europe. So the winners for this package will, of course, receive international management from both CAG, Concert Artists Guild, and YCAT. They will get a very prestigious Wigmore Hall debut, as well as a Merkin Hall debut at our new Music Speak series at Merkin Hall that we're very excited about starting next season. So check that out as we announce those dates. The other prize package will be the Ambassador package, which will be a North American management, as well as participation in our leadership development program that both the grand prize winners and the ambassadors will be participating in. That is a program that we've started recently that we really believe is critical to give the necessary skills for musicians to navigate a very volatile but complicated and wonderful career path that's unique to them with the skill sets that they're going to need. So more information on that can be found on our website. But we've had a great start to that program this year, and we're very excited to have the next cohort of winners participate in that next year. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join us on both Violin Channel and Concert Artists Guild Facebook page, and you'll be able to hear firsthand who's going to be receiving those packages. But each of these finalists have so much to offer. I know you're going to enjoy each one of them today, and I'll see you later.
Hi, my name is Chelsea D'Souza. I am a pianist, and I grew up in the city of Mumbai in India. Growing up there, music was very much a community activity, and so I was playing with other musicians in different styles even at the age of 7. And I've continued to experiment with music beyond just classical since then. I played and sang in a classic rock band in high school. I've taken classes in jazz and improvisation. I've played world music with some amazing musicians from across the globe. And I even sang and arranged songs for my all-girls a cappella group in college. All of these experiences deeply influenced the way I approach classical music as well, and I draw on all of them when I create my concert experiences. I did a double degree in politics and piano during my undergrad at Oberlin, and something people always asked me was how they were related. I believe that music has political and social implications based on the context in which we create it. So I think a lot about how my music fits into the context of society as a whole. How every artistic choice I make has this potential to either uphold a tradition or to challenge it, and in that way contribute to our shared culture of classical music today. I've always felt that music has this incredible power to encourage difficult conversations, and that inspires me to be intentional with every musical decision I make, whether it's programming or collaborating or curating. When the pandemic began and all my performances were canceled, I felt completely unmoored. I think like most other artists out there. But it forced me to come back to these defining beliefs I've developed about music and it inspired quite a few projects that I've been working on over the past year. The first is a new work for cello and piano that focuses on individual cultural identity rather than stereotypes that we may have experienced. And I was lucky enough to win a grant from New Music USA to make it happen. The second is this really cool film about 14 iconic female African American singers who have defined the course of music in North America over the last 200 years. It's a one singer, one pianist show, and I got to improvise in all of the different singers' styles, which was really amazing. And finally, right now, I am putting together a songwriting therapy workshop for South Asian victims of domestic abuse with a local Houston organization. All of these projects have helped me rediscover how I can use music to make an impact on the people around me. And I am just so grateful every day for the chance to make meaningful art.
Hello, my name is Daniel Moody. It is a great honor to be a part of CAG's 2021 competition. A little bit about me and my interests. I'm a countertenor, so I happen to sing a lot of Bach, Handel, and Vivaldi. Though at one point before the pandemic, I was actually doing more contemporary work and contemporary opera than I was of Baroque opera, so that was really fun and unexpected. So my interests in music are really those two extremes, Baroque music and contemporary modern music. and anything in between if I can. And so that's why I've actually programmed on this recital some Brahms and Florence Price and a couple other pieces that are not typically performed by a countertenor, but I enjoy breaking the mold, and I enjoy challenging expectations. And more importantly, this music needs to be heard and it needs to be performed. And so I just had a lot of fun putting this program together, and I cannot wait to perform it for an audience. A few of my other interests outside of music include baking, taking care of our puppy. My partner and I decided to get a puppy at the start of the pandemic, and it was the right decision. He has just brought so much joy into our lives. He's sleeping on the floor right now. But throughout this past year, there have been a couple really wonderful events and a couple really big blessings, actually. And that is, I put together a voice studio and learned some video and audio editing skills for some of the projects that we did. So that was helpful and really fun. Great to stay active and work with other singers. It brought a lot of good things out of me to pass on information and to learn from them. I made several videos for other arts organizations and orchestras and early music ensembles that I've worked with in the past. And in October, I actually had the chance to perform in cyberspace with White Snake Projects, an activist, innovative opera company that only does commissioned new works. What they did is they commissioned Alice in the Pandemic and put together this incredible, interesting opera about a pandemic and Alice, a new take on Alice in Wonderland. And that was incredibly fun and really, really rewarding and really special, especially during this past year where live performance was basically taken away. I think what I've learned is that music needs to be heard and music needs to be enjoyed, and it's therapeutic, and it helps with all of the crap that's going on in our lives, in our society, in our communities. It is so important to stay active and to give back in ways that we can. And I can't wait for things to get back to normal and to perform for live audiences again. And thanks so much for having me and for listening to this video.
Hi, I'm Nozzle. I'm a 22-year-old pianist. I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and currently I'm a senior at the New England Conservatory in Boston studying with Hwa Kyung Byun. I'm going to be staying at NEC for the next 2 years to do my master's degree. Now, I'm a pianist who really loves learning and performing anything from the musical canon and more. One of the reasons that I'm really grateful to be a pianist and maybe not another kind of instrumentalist is just because we have such an extensive repertoire, and nearly all of it is really amazing stuff. Ideally, for a career, I would like to have a career where I perform solo recitals and concertos, but I am also very experienced and very comfortable performing in chamber music settings. Outside of music, the truth is I don't really have any specific intense interests. I grew up in a household where the idea was you devote yourself to your craft and then everything else will fall into place. And for better or for worse, that mindset has sort of stuck with me. I will say that I just really like to learn new things. For the past couple months, about a couple months ago, I started learning how to cook. And so now I make a relatively elaborate meal for myself pretty much every other night. I also have been learning Turkish on Duolingo for the past several years. And obviously now I have more time to do these things because the world has slowed down a bit due to the coronavirus. And obviously I have lost some concerts because of COVID, some recital series where I was scheduled to play, or orchestras that I was scheduled to play with were not able, either because of time or because of resources, they weren't able to adopt a virtual platform. And at the same time, I think there were so many organizations that did adopt a virtual platform, and it became this thing where anyone in the world could really take those opportunities because distance was generally no longer an issue. And so I found myself this year having to be much more proactive in securing the opportunities I was offered and sort of capitalizing on any connections that I had to those concert opportunities. So I think that's one of the main ways that I have dealt with the impact of COVID on my career as a musician and on the careers of all musicians in general. So yeah, it's been a interesting, tough, difficult year, but I hope we can emerge stronger and more inspired.
Hi, my name is Adam Sadberry. I'm a Black American, I'm 25 years old, and I currently live in Memphis, Tennessee, where I'm the acting principal flutist of the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. I moved to Memphis about 6 months ago before the pandemic started for work, so my job went from playing symphonic music to finding joy regardless of what was happening in the country. I've had three main sources of joy outside of music: nature, food, and roller skating. Nature has grounded me in reality instead of society. Between the countless walks and hours sitting on park benches, I've been able to settle into myself and enjoy the little moments. Now, food has always been a love of mine, but I'm a happier eater than ever before because I know that COVID could steal my sense of taste away. If there was a competition for picking the happiest eater, I'd be really, really hard to beat. My favorite and newest source of joy during the pandemic is roller skating. I use it to literally roll my worries away and vibe to my skating playlists. Also, I love skating because it makes me look way cooler than I actually am. Expressing my interests within music requires some background information. My biggest battle while growing up was being a Black person in a majority white town called Montgomery, Texas. Back then, my understanding of Blackness mostly came through how white people perceived it based on what they learned from the news, TV, and movies, and needless to say, that was horrible for me. I needed a crutch to survive that type of environment, and when I started playing the flute in 6th grade, I subconsciously made it that crutch. I saw that the better I got at the flute, the more that others respected me and treated me as a whole person rather than as an other. With the emotional and financial support of my community, I had a lot of success and gained the self-confidence and motivation I needed to not only survive, but thrive. I'll always be grateful to everyone that helped build my foundation. My pre-collegiate years of flute playing taught me a skill that I've continued using today: resilience. Resilience is a trait that runs in my family and throughout Black culture as a whole. And for me, the epitome of resilience is the late L. Alex Wilson. He was the general manager and editor of the Tri-State Defender in Memphis, Tennessee. He covered some of the most important stories of the civil rights movement, including the lynching of Emmett Till, the Montgomery bus boycott, and the desegregation of Central High School. He used his storytelling to keep Black communities of Memphis informed by fighting against the grain of racism with his pen. And although he was successful in doing so, working resulted in him becoming a martyr. L. Alex Wilson, my grandfather, will always be one of my biggest inspirations. I didn't know my grandfather personally because he died in 1960, but I still feel close to him. He worked in Memphis during the civil rights movement, and now I've somehow ended up working in Memphis during the modern civil rights movement. If that isn't the work of some force, I don't know what is. This past year has given me a lot of time to reconsider why I participate in music making, and I've come to the conclusion that it's primarily so I can be a storyteller through music. While I want a versatile career that isn't defined by genres or societal expectations, my ultimate goal is to commission as many Black composers as I can to compose pieces that tell Black stories. These pieces will help expand the Black diaspora through classical music. To this day, too many people still don't view Black people as people, including those that support us and think that they see us. So I want to do two main things. I want to use musical storytelling to give Black people art that can help us exist in this country, and I want non-Black people to listen to what we have to say. My grandfather was courageous enough to never run from his work in journalism, so I can at least be courageous enough to never run from opposition in music. The flute is no longer my crutch, but my greatest weapon.
What does the future of the performing arts look like?
It's a question we ask ourselves a lot.
Who are our future audiences?
How do we adapt in a post-COVID society?
What vision of the world are we advancing through our art?
We believe that we stand at the intersection of globalization, technology, education, and social impact. 4 areas that we believe we can uniquely affect within the arts landscape.
Globalization is a present and future reality. In the same way that learning a language can open up doors for communication and understanding, we believe that learning musical languages can help bridge cultural divides, highlighting our common humanity. It's why we're passionate about studying artistic traditions from around the world and crafting programs that celebrate that diversity.
Technology has already radically reshaped nearly every aspect of our day-to-day life. We believe that technology isn't just a stand-in for in-person experiences, but is a new sandbox with unique possibilities for creativity and connection. For us, this means not only being great virtual performers and educators, but also infusing technology directly into our artistry.
We believe that arts education should be about shaping worldviews and curiosities that will last a lifetime. For those who dedicate their lives to the arts, education also needs to prepare them for present realities, where understanding, versatility, and entrepreneurship are crucial. We created global perspectives to address these needs, not only introducing participants to musical traditions from around the world, but equipping them with invaluable tools like oral learning, improvisation, and arrangement.
Social impact. It's the heart of what we do. The arts have the unique ability to connect communities, cultivate empathy, and catalyze transformation. For us, this looks like Support NYC, mobilizing artists to provide fundraising concerts for small businesses and nonprofits in need. Through this process, we've led with our desire to give back, opening a flurry of new opportunities for us to share our music. In both revitalizing our economy and connecting communities through the arts, we are cultivating a future in which the arts are woven into the fabric of our society.
Globalization, technology, education, and social impact.
This is our vision for the future.
Hi, we're the Ballardy String Quartet. I'm Justin.
I'm Angela.
I'm Russell.
And I'm Ben.
Come get to know us a little better.
I like to cook for the group, and I also make a really mean guac.
I am a word game fanatic. I always win.
I dream about performances being as satisfying as this amazing buzzer-beating shot.
Our Instagram is full of engaging and fun content. I have a lot of fun making and editing videos just like this one.
We spend a lot of time as a quartet, from taking walks, to making food, to eating it, and even rehearsing sometimes.
We always try to keep our rehearsals very interesting and fun. We sing phrases together, we tell each other stories, but we also spend a long time discussing over details in the score. All four of us view the rehearsal process as a safe space to explore all kinds of ideas. We also encourage each other to become better musicians. We believe that the attention to detail and the creative rehearsal methods allow us to be as spontaneous as possible when we're on stage.
Our group performs from the core repertory of the string quartet. We also find it very rewarding to approach new works by composers of our time, and we really have a lot of fun, especially when we can get to know the composer personally and interact with them and work with them and get to know their musical language in a more intimate way. We find that this sort of interaction really benefits how we approach older music and really gives a new perspective to how we communicate within the group.
The COVID pandemic has presented unprecedented challenges for musicians. I think for us it's been particularly difficult not having live audiences for performances. We really feed off of this kind of symbiotic energy. But in the last year, we've also grown a lot, rehearsed a lot, learned how to record ourselves better, and we've had the privilege of sharing outreach performances with kids all across America on Zoom.
We aspire to bring people closer together by creating a genuine statement with our music. Breathing life into the music in every performance matters more to us than anything. We want to create an unforgettable experience in which the music that we share, no matter if it was written yesterday or in another time, communicates the power of the human condition.
Audiences of all backgrounds deserve to feel a profound connection with the music they experience as personal statements of what it means to be alive.
Our goal as music makers is to reaffirm how magical artistic expression can truly be.
Hello, I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Lucy.
And we are Chromic Duo. We are pianists, composers, community builders, and multimedia artists. And we tell stories. And we're storytellers that are passionate in connecting with our audiences through sound, anything about sound. We're really inspired by things that you wouldn't really imagine that fit in the traditional concert hall, like things like design, virtual reality, augmented reality, site-specific sound walks, like any type of thing that would change the user experience and their perspective of experiencing music and connecting with it. We want to form a deeper sense of community between the audience and the performers.
Definitely. And part of the things that we love to do outside of music also directly informs the kind of work that we want to create as being community builders, and also to foster these kinds of futures that are better, that are more sustainable, that are equitable, that I work in anti-racist initiatives such as Letter for Black Lives, which incorporates part of my heritage as an Asian American to afflict change with the people who I love the most, my family. And this is actually just an international initiative as well. Even something as small as working in a community garden, you start working hands-on with those communities and seeing what they need, and creating things together that way. And that makes me really hopeful for the kinds of futures that we hope to create as an ensemble.
Yeah, and as for me, like I share that same vision and mission, and I'm really interested in breaking down the engineer part to make these things and realize these things into projects and works that can also affect other people. Like in my time outside of music, I love building things like software engineering or coding or building a desk, and those things that combined with Lucy's strong and strength, we're able to make it into works that are like really exciting, and we really see their purpose.
One of the projects that we're really looking forward to is a partnership with the New York Philharmonic's Very Young Composer Program and the co-founders of Jezzo app, which is a new tool that allows you to upload audio walks as an GPS-triggered AR app. So we'll be working with composers to upload their works, and so that way you get to experience the city in a different way. You get to understand the history and the culture from the perspectives of these composers.
Yeah, and I think that with the pandemic, above all, we realize is that our main goal is like to build community through music and to connect with other people. And given the pandemic, it really gave us the opportunity to reflect on the moments when we feel the most connected, and then translating them into like this no matter what kind of medium, into like a work that really still can go through these barriers. And I think that with our collaborators, and we really want to bring joy and discovery through our work, and I think that extends through the mediums and the possibilities of changing presentations, because I think that we can still serve the same purpose above that.
Yeah, 100%. And with that, we're really grateful for this opportunity to share some of our work with you. Feel free to look at the YouTube playlist where it's all inspired by the similar ethos that was mentioned. And we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
my dreams hardly make sense to me. I feel like when you dream, when you tell me your dreams, there's no need to even fall back asleep. I awake when the birds are alive and they pass me their song. They tell me what you're dreaming of. I dream of accentuated realities of the everyday. And I wake up almost trying to go underneath the surface of what I actually wanted in this dream. But I can't get there. My dreams, they're so far away. In my dreams, I can't remember them.
I dreamt that I was in a CPU system. All I see in front of me were boxes of computer commands. These commands are somehow related to boxes in our lives. But I felt like if I computed long enough, I would be able to solve the problem. Suddenly there was a black hole, like in a box, that almost feels way two-dimensional. left the box, I realized it's like a tank filled with some sort of liquid. And I dipped my hands into it to stir it up. It felt like what it would feel if you dipped my hands into an oiled china towel.
Accentuating realities.
Syrian Cry Quartet, the result of many years searching for each of us. It's a place where can have an experiment, where can combine the potential and experience of each of us to create original artists' music.
Besides the use of styles such as minimalism and neoclassicism, our music can be characterized such as progressive folk and post-folk.
Syrian's quartet repertoire is dominated by our own authors' music. When creating the compositions, we often turn to themes from the folklore of Ukraine, Belarus, and of course, our country, Russia.
Each member of our quartet is a professional musician. We all studied at their best music institutions in Russia as well abroad. And we all bringing the academic traditionals to the Russian national instruments. We trying to approach any kind of audience with the innovative approach. We rethinking their academic and the tradition of playing the Russian instruments. We are rethinking them in a new way, which would be interesting for young people and which would be interesting for older generations as well. And we absolutely confident that the Russian national instruments needs to be presented at the most serious concert platforms in the world.
Thank you.